He thought he was building a life with her, a home, a family. What he didn't know was that the whole foundation was a lie, and it had been since before they even said "I do." This is his story. He and his fiancée started dating in August of 2021. By that November, just 3 months in, they'd already moved into a shared apartment together. Their wedding was set for the following August. To him, it didn't feel rushed. It felt right. He believed he'd found the person he was supposed to build a life with, a home, a family, all of it. He says he remembers picking out their first apartment together, furniture shopping, late nights talking about names for kids they hadn't even had yet. What he didn't know is that during that exact same window, while they were planning a wedding, while they were choosing furniture together, she was having an affair with an older coworker. Not a one-time slip, not a moment of weakness during a rough patch. An affair that started before they'd even said "I do." And it wasn't just once. For years afterward, she actually positioned herself as someone with strong morals, openly judging other people who cheated. Friends, family members. She'd talk about loyalty like it was the most important thing in the world to her. He trusted her completely. He had no reason not to. They got married the following year, just like planned. They bought a house together. They had 2 children, both of whom he says he was present for every single moment, every appointment, every late night. For 5 years, he says, life looked completely normal from the outside. A young family, a happy marriage as far as he knew. He had no idea he was building all of it on top of a lie that started before the wedding even happened. Recently, the truth started coming out. Not all at once. Piece by piece, over days, in what people in his situation often call trickle truth, when someone only admits exactly as much as they're forced to and nothing more. It started small. She said it was just flirting, something harmless in her words. He wanted to believe her. Then, under more pressure, it became just texting. Still not the full picture, still framed like something he was overreacting to. Then it became physical. Still, she minimized it, said it had only happened once, that it didn't mean anything, that she'd regretted it immediately. Each version of the story held for a day, sometimes 2, before the next piece cracked through. He says it felt like being lied to over and over again in slow motion, like she was testing exactly how much truth he could absorb before giving him a little more. Finally, under the weight of evidence he'd already found on his own, she admitted everything. There had been a real, ongoing affair, not a moment, not a mistake. Years. He says the hardest part wasn't even the affair itself by that point. It was realizing how many separate times she'd looked him in the eye and chosen to lie again rather than tell him the truth all at once. He keeps coming back to one detail more than any other. He was there for every one of her labors, both children, holding her hand through hours of pain, completely unaware. He says he keeps replaying those moments now, wondering what was real and what was just performance, wondering if she was thinking about anyone else in that room. He says it's not something he can unknow now. Every good memory from those 5 years comes with a second, darker memory attached to it. He says the stress of carrying this, the lying, the disbelief, has taken a real toll on him. He's gained significant weight, his blood pressure has spiked. He describes it as feeling like his heart might give out from the strain. He says he feels a physical sense of revulsion now, just looking at her. Last night, he took off his wedding ring. He archived every shared photo they had. Now she's the one panicking. He says she sent messages like, "I love you even though I'm a piece of," and outright begged him not to leave. She's asked him multiple times if they could go somewhere alone to talk, just the 2 of them. He's said no every time. He's not responding to most of it. He says he's kept communication to the bare minimum now, only what's necessary for the kids' schedules, nothing more. He says watching her panic now, after 5 years of calm, careful lying, it doesn't feel like sympathy. It feels like watching someone lose control of something they thought they'd planned perfectly. Since posting his story, he's heard from a lot of people who've been through something similar. Some of the advice has stuck with him more than others. Several people told him this wasn't really about whether he can forgive the affair. It's about whether he can live with someone who chose, again and again, to keep lying instead of telling the truth. Others pointed out something he hadn't fully considered, that trickle truth itself is often a sign that someone is more focused on managing the damage to themselves than on actually being honest with the person they hurt. He says that distinction has been sitting with him. Whether her panic now is about losing him or about finally facing consequences she spent years trying to avoid. He says he wants to be there for his children. They're his whole world. But he doesn't know how to move forward carrying this kind of betrayal. Every time he looks at her, all he can see is 5 years of lies stacked one on top of the other. He's not asking for revenge. He's asking other people who've been through something like this how to protect his own health after months of stress that he says have genuinely scared him. How to stay steady for his kids, even on the days he doesn't feel steady at all. Whether there's any version of this marriage that's actually worth trying to save, or whether some lies are simply too foundational to build anything on top of again. He says some nights he thinks he could forgive the affair itself eventually. Other nights he's not sure he can forgive how long it took her to stop lying about it. He doesn't have an answer yet. He says that's the hardest part, not knowing which version of himself he'll be on the other side of this. We don't know how his story ends yet. He's still in the middle of it. If you've ever been the one finding out the truth in pieces like this, you know how much that kind of slow gut punch hurts. If this story affected you, subscribe for more real stories like his, and let us know in the comments what advice you'd give him.